Welcome to Talmudic Treasures. Today we're on Megillah page 19, which discusses whether it's necessary to actually read all 10 chapters of the book of Esther, or is it possible that we could start somewhere in the middle and fulfill one's obligation? Now, according to the outcome, a person is obligated to read the entire Megillah from beginning to end. However, there are actually in the Talmud 4 opinions as to why maybe we should not have to do so. And the question is, what is the primary focus of what we're looking at when we actually read this story? So those who say that you have to read the beginning is because there's a crucial element that's found, which has to do with Achashverosh, the king's party, that he waited until after the 3rd year because he miscalculated and thought that the Jewish people would be in exile for a period of 70 years after the destruction of the first temple. And he was anticipating that the second temple indeed would be rebuilt. And since that did not happen, he rejoiced. And the way that he rejoiced is he took these various vessels that were found in the temple, and he used them as part of his celebration of the party. And this is part of the reason why, as the Talmud says before, that one of the big mistakes that was made is going to this party. It wasn't simply just going to the king's party, but it was almost in a way celebrating the fact that the temple would not be rebuilt. Again, of course, he miscalculated and the temple ended up being built years later. A second interpretation is that we should start reading it when we're introduced to Mordechai or possibly to Haman, in which Haman, even though everyone bowed down to him, it seems strange. What's the big deal? Why can't you just bow down? So the issue, as the Talmud here says, that Haman actually considered himself as an idol, that he should be worshipped like a god or deity. And therefore, that is the reason why Mordechai correctly did not bow to him. It was not to show a lack of respect, even though he was a very powerful person. It was that one was not allowed to bow down to him because it was a form of idol worship, which of course is what got Haman extremely upset. Possibly another interpretation, we only have to worry about when Achashverosh was having difficulty sleeping, because it was at that moment in which some say is the greatest part of the miracle, is that it was at that moment he realized that Mordechai had saved him, and by celebrating the great act of saving his life, that is what continued and the rest of the story from that point forward.